It takes a special kind of cruelty to humiliate a father in front of his child. But for Evelyn, it was just another Tuesday. At the prestigious Oakwood Academy's charity bake sale, the air was thick with the scent of damp pavement and expensive perfume. Evelyn, the billionaire PTA president, wasn't looking for charity. She was looking for control. And Leo's contribution to the event, a simple, handmade cardboard box of rustic almond pastries, offended her aesthetic in ways that felt like a personal insult. "This is a luxury fundraising event, Leo," Evelyn announced, her voice piercing through the relentless rain so every parent could hear. "We don't serve cheap peasant food here. It ruins the image. The donors expect refinement, not this. Please, just take your daughter and leave before you embarrass yourself further." The courtyard fell dead silent. Even the rain seemed to quiet. Leo could have shouted. He could have defended himself. He could have told them exactly who he was. But instead, he looked down at his daughter, Mia. He saw the confusion in her eyes and the way her small hand tightened around his finger. He just wrapped his worn jacket around her, turned his back to the whispers, and walked away. Evelyn smiled, victorious, but she was entirely unaware that she had just ignited a fire she couldn't extinguish. Because Leo wasn't just a struggling single dad, the world knew him as Chef Leonidas Vance, a culinary phantom, a man who had once commanded an empire of 3 Michelin-star restaurants across 3 continents. That was before the accident, before he lost his wife. He had walked away from the limelight, trading magazine covers and world-class kitchens for school drop-offs and simple, quiet mornings to raise his daughter in peace. He owned half the high-end real estate in the city, the silent partner behind the skyline's most prestigious towers, but he kept his identity violently guarded. Meanwhile, Evelyn was busy planning her masterpiece, the Spring Gala. She had rented the city's most exclusive, mysterious new luxury venue, the Obsidian Room. She bragged to her country club friends that she had pulled the ultimate power move. She had secured the venue's anonymous legendary owner and master chef to cater the event personally. She wanted the city's elite to know that Evelyn always gets the best and that the best was at her command. The night of the gala arrived. The Obsidian Room was a vision of cold, hard luxury. The air hummed with the sound of string quartets and the clinking of expensive crystal. Evelyn practically floated to the stage. This was her coronation. She felt the weight of the spotlight and the envy of the room. She grabbed the microphone, her eyes scanning the sea of gowns and tuxedos, eager to cement her status. "Ladies and gentlemen," Evelyn purred into the mic, her smile perfect. "It is my profound honor to introduce the owner of this magnificent establishment and the mastermind behind tonight's menu, a man who has defined the culinary world." She gestured toward the kitchen doors with a dramatic flourish. The entire room held its breath. The man who stepped out of the kitchen wasn't a pretentious celebrity. It was the man in the rain. Evelyn's face drained of color. The microphone shook in her trembling hand, the feedback squealing through the hall like a dying animal. The man whose food she had thrown in the garbage owned the building she was standing in. Leo didn't yell. He didn't gloat. He didn't even look angry. He simply walked to the microphone with terrifyingly professional grace. "Food!" Leo's voice boomed softly through the hall, carrying the weight of a man who had seen everything. "Is an act of love. It is meant to nurture, regardless of whether it comes in a crystal dish or a cardboard box. True wealth is not measured by the price of your event, but by the dignity with which you treat the people around you." He turned slowly to Evelyn. The room was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. "This establishment requires a standard of decency from its guests a standard you do not meet. You are no longer welcome in my house. In front of the mayor, the board of directors, and every single one of her wealthy friends, Evelyn was escorted out into the cold night. Leo sitting at a small, rustic table in the back of his massive commercial kitchen. He is smiling warmly, feeding his daughter, Mia, one of the exact same rustic almond pastries from the beginning of the story. Arrogance may win the moment, but character wins the lifetime. If you believe that kindness is a choice and everyone deserves respect, hit that subscribe button for more stories. Thanks, and click like.